Welcome back, everyone. Hope that you are well. Thank you all for joining me on this auspicious occasion. For those that don't know, I also do Dynasty Heroes. This is sort of where I originally started the journey of the Dynasty clan for, well, this version of the game. The story, through its many versions, the story stays the same. Dynasty Scrolls is, I believe, the newest deviation from that narrative. But yeah, for the OGs in the house that still watch, shout out to you. So we've been waiting for, I feel like, months, like fucking months, for this event to roll around. We've been given these stupid Christmas festival events back to back, like 3 or 4 times in a row. Everyone was sick of them, and then finally, boom, the gluttonous feast has arrived. And it all makes sense. It makes sense because this used to be the cake festival. Xiaoju is was the or she was the little bunny girl was the little host of this. It's kind of mixed it up a little bit. Definitely, I guess, rewriting the narrative of the game or giving it a refresh. Um, so what does that actually mean? If you're familiar with the cake festival, then it'll all make a lot more sense to you. If you're new to this or just curious in general, this is the event where it essentially is the best event for pay to win players and free to play players to combine their efforts within their legion or guild in order to maximize their rewards, basically. So if you're in like the whale guild of the server, chances are you're going to get some pretty cool rewards just from being in there. And obviously, your contributions do significantly impact the outcome of what you can actually buy in the end. So let's jump into it. The currency is vegetables, and then the premium currency is meat. This is something that you will, or steak, I should say. So you would need to purchase this. They actually, I feel like they probably added a little bit of value curve on this, which is not too bad. So it's 5,000 jade, which is around 140 Australian dollars. You can buy a 6,000 jade pack for 169. So it's around the 140, 150 mark if you're interested in the conversion rate. But it is a separate currency to ignates or gold, so I guess they kind of went down that path. This is not new. Jade's been around for a couple of months, but essentially you can purchase these items with Jade. I think they're not necessary. I'm just going to say that. But if you do, then obviously you're going to get a significant boost to your contribution of the guild. So everybody is after the credit, which is the little flag symbol. And basically, once you start hitting milestones, you'll be able to claim additional rewards and additional levels of credit. So at rank 2, you get some more veggies that you can donate. You also get the actual credit that you use to exchange for gifts. Then, as you progress higher and higher, you actually get some additional things which I believe were not available prior to this. Notably, it's capped out at level 5 because I think they've done the statistics and nobody really goes past level 5. So, I mean, level 5 for now is, it's pretty good. I believe they'll still have an inter-server event after this one ends in a few days. And then basically you compete against them. So every day you're going to come in, you're going to sign in. You're actually going to get a shit ton more than you used to for the cake festival. Loving that. You're actually going to get some of these exchange tokens that you'll need. I guarantee you'll need later on. 666 gems is an auspicious number for those that don't know. And then realistically, you're like, okay, so what do I do now? Like, I've got all this shit. It looks nice and shiny. then you kind of go into how you do your dailies. So this corresponds with a lot of the timed events like Legion Boss 1 and 2, Quiz Event and Legion Trial. You can get lots of vegetables from doing that. But basically, you just want to go ahead and clear your normal daily tasks. The only difference is the quantity that you would do of it. So it is tied into your activeness. Obviously, you want to do everything you do, but then on top of that, there's like these additional bonuses where you can go to the story instance and you basically smash it out 100 times a day. So I don't feel like for pre-existing players it's going to be too hard. Most people should have enough stamina saved up. For those that sort of didn't, I do feel sorry for you. I mean, uh, what can I say? There was definitely like a big drain on resources with all those festival events prior to this, the Christmas ones. You were required pretty much every time to smash a lot of stamina pills. But you can always top up each time throughout the event itself. You only need to do it 100 times, so I think it works out to be. Uh, Honestly, you could probably get away with it with having 15 to 20 stamina pills a day. Should be enough for you to do your 100 smashes. Um, how many have I got left? 75, so 25 more smashes. I would say you could quite easily get away with doing it with 15 to 20 stamina pills a day, which is probably what you can buy anyway. So don't stress too much about that. As for the travel instance, I think everybody has tons and tons of travel XP stamina saved up. I just hit autopilot for those that don't have that option. You'll probably just have to monitor it a little bit more, but it's a good way to get additional relic resource as well as potentially getting a relic that you and your character can use. I have been very lazy on progressing the chapters in this game. Probably because I don't play it as much because of Dynasty Scrolls. I find Dynasty Scrolls just a little bit more fun, at least as it is now, than this one. It's kind of progress gets slower and slower in this game, whereas Dynasty Scrolls it's a little bit more explosive. Um, Granted, it is for sure a pay to win game. Um, just know that if you decide to head across the Dynasty Scrolls, it is a lot more pay to win than this game, and you would definitely see the brackets between those that spend and those that don't, and they do grow quite significantly. Um, Honestly, if you're going to be wise about it, the same principle applies for Dynasty Scrolls as it does here, and I'll talk about that in a sec once I finish this last bit for Garnin. Um, the principle of spending is you should always wait for day one or day two of the big event to roll around and see what other events are in conjunction with it. So as you can see, the Divine Avatar event has is rolled around for this server. It was actually out yesterday. So before I make any financial decisions and before I suggest anyone else does, is to sort of wait to see what else is actually coming up in the schedules. I believe they have a Facebook page. We talk about it on the Discord. Angel always drops hints. We thought she was lying to us about the cake event, but it turns out it did arrive. So we will fatten her up, guaranteed. Um, but basically, you're you're going to get additional things from purchasing. So you're going to get additional divine beads. So if you're going to spend money on the cake event, buying out the steak, uh, I hope you didn't do it. Yes, well, I hope you didn't spend all your money trying to get the divine avatar yesterday for the carnival. I hope you waited for the day to blow your paycheck load so that you can get some additional heavenly beads and some additional steak. Um, but yeah, I'll decide whether or not I actually spend on it, how far I'll go with, I guess, the range that I can get. It is important to know, how far you can realistically go and how far you can actually achieve when it comes to the actual exchanging of your currency. So, rule of thumb is 99.9% of players should always buy Spring and Autumn and Warring States until they divine their first hero. After that, then they can kind of, honestly, even after that, I would just continue to buy Spring and Autumn or Warring States. I honestly wouldn't care about any of this other stuff. The event currency you can get outside of here, like the Fatal Feathers, Divine Beads, Lying Dragon Charts, the Lassos, all of that is meh, right? You don't really. That's not something to focus on. It's the you would use that if you had like leftover currency, so to speak. But be aware you can roll over this currency to the next event as well. But yeah, so legendary insignias, you're kind of like, oh, 2000, that's pretty good. I can get that day one, or maybe I can get some divine shards or some artifacts. It's all there to make you think that it's a good thing to do. It's a trap. You should always be buying Spring and Autumn and Warring in States until you have fully divined your first one or two heroes, depending on how many you're going for. Because you do need a shit ton of each. And so that's exactly where I'll be pouring all my resources into. It probably will just be enough. I probably, depending on how much I spend, it'll just be enough to get gunning to divine, and then start working on my second, my bunny girl. So that's my plan for this event. Um, Granted, we probably will finish first, so we're going to get some guaranteed credit up there, which is always nice, plus some lamb chops so we can get some more currency as well. I mean, that's the advantage of being in the active or best guild on the server. But as for day two, that's where things get really interesting, and this is kind of where the Whaley whales come out. We love our Whaley whales, Azrael and Gilgamesh. If that's you on the server, if you're watching the video, we love our Whaley whales and Angel too. Heck, we've got a few of them. I can't name them all. But yeah, this is sort of where you're a serious spender, because these chests start at 30,000. Ultimate Insignias, you probably wouldn't touch that until you've maxed out all of your other heroes. You've got them all to divine, and you've essentially got most of them with divine insignias. I mean, it's not really going to boost your character all that much. You're going to get more bang for your buck by essentially getting them all divine insignias first. But basically, it's not bad. I mean, I wouldn't buy a legendary horse or a pet for that matter. And then universal artifacts. I mean, I don't think anyone can even access a celestial or divine hero just yet. So that's a little bit of a niche right there. But this is something that you can save towards if you're in like the middle, where you can get enough of the Warring States and Spring and Autumn, and you're on path of you basically divined all your heroes out, and you're like, what do I spend it on? That's when you start to look at your divine insignias, and then your ultimate insignias, because this is probably the two easiest places to get them. And I guarantee you will have more than enough to get at least two, well, I should say one divine insignia chest, potentially two by the end of this event, depending on where your server finishes. This is outside your grasp, though. You would definitely need to spend in order to get a ultimate insignia chest. Now, moving on, this is the gold gotcha event. I guess this is where you can blow your load on getting some of the event currencies if you'd like. I mean, because there is a heavenly Banqua, like an avatar card event right now, um, you might be tempted to buy them all. How much does it cost me? 1,000 for 20? Yeah, sure. We'll just grab them. Um, as for the rest of it, it's pretty stock standard. You can buy another legendary, but I don't know why you would. It's not really worth it in the end. Um, Warring States, Spring and Autumn. There is a limit of 10. I guess this is your old shit. I've bought out everything here possible that I possibly could, and I still don't have enough. This is kind of where you would go to first to buy. They are full price, so they are 900. You can actually get them cheaper. Pro tip for everyone that doesn't know: when you go traveling, you do have a chance to buy them from here. So they're actually 450 gems, a half price, or ignits, I should say. So I would probably, during the event, hopefully, as you farm out the stages to do your 100, you get a couple from the shop. So that's a nice, easy way to snag them if you don't have enough time in the mausoleum, which I'm almost capped out at, which is 120 minutes. So if anyone wants to do some with me that watches this video in our guild, hit me up on Discord. I'd like to do an hour or two of farming the mausoleum, Queen's Mausoleum. But I think I'll leave it there. I will come back when I decide whether or not I will go for the divine avatar. I'll just give you an example. You just hold it down, and eventually this bad boy speeds up, and then it chunks all the way through it, and then it's like, boom, there you go. So I got 1660-ish currency from doing that, so that's pretty cool. I'm pretty sure I'm only missing the 150 daily activeness, which I'll get. I think from almost doing that. Yeah. So I'll just finish out the rest of this, and we'll get that last bit of juiciness. But I'll probably catch some of these fallen guys in the quiz so that we can get that completion as well as some other things. Um, One thing I'd like to point out, which I thought was pretty cool before I do jump off, was you can where is it? Where I saw it. I saw it. I know I saw it. This is there. Let's go to the shop. When in doubt, go to the shop. This you can actually exchange two of your two of your normal keys for one legendary key, or two of your normal chests for one like four gods chest. So that's pretty cool. I love that. Like, shards are awesome. You're gonna get Nova shards and full god shards. So yeah, that's a nice way to get it outside of a Chow Chow event or outside of using it in KB. Because of course you can exchange for some of them in KB as well. But I think I'll be saving up for 1 in 1,000, and then after that we'll decide. All right. Well, thank you for watching. If you are interested in watching, some Dynasty Scrolls as well, subscribe to this if you like some Dynasty Heroes. I'm sure I'll be back with some more content. But I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks, guys.